What's up, SNA fans? This is Super Ninja Austin back here, and yeah, this time I'm gonna be reviewing on what went down on Battle of the Belts, Part 10, and we're gonna be talking about like matches like Roderick Strong taking on Rocky Romero for the AEW International Championship and the TBS champ. I'm not TBS, FTW Championship with Hook defending his title against Shane Taylor, and we got the Ring of Honor Women's Championship against. What's her name, Red Velvet, which we haven't seen Athena in months. I was like, how they cannot have her on the show? And yeah, it must have been full-time working duties over in Ring of Honor side of the pond. But at the same time, they could have managed to have her make a couple appearances on AEW, like whether if it was in a program with someone like in the lower mid card. I don't know, I don't know who it could possibly. Or even like just be in some kind of a short term match, like in a short with Queen Emanata or Trish Adora, or somebody like that in the bottom car. But yeah, we're gonna talk about more about that in just a moment. We're gonna start off with a backstage interview with Hook. This is where Lexi Noir was like, what's your strategy in this match? Hook, yeah. Okay, I'll take it off. Here you go, Birdie Bird.
Mommy.
Yeah. Okay, I'll go. Why'd you ask me to go in there anyways? But anyways, SNA back here. But yeah, this is where Lexi Nar was like, what's your strategy in this match against Shane Taylor? This is where Hook was it was like, well, I don't know what to start at. And this is where the Shibata then use his translator on his phone. He's like, pardon me, not trying to interrupt, but just to let you know, if there's Hook, if there's any if anyone from the Shane Taylor promotions try to come in there and try to give Shane Taylor the advantage tonight, just to let you know, I have your back. I have your back all the way, no matter what, bro. And this is where Hook was like, thank you, Kategori. I really appreciate that, man. And he's like, even though I do watch Shane Taylor and what's he capable of, and I'm not going to sleep on him, even though I know I can beat him, but yeah, you never know whatever trips that does be sleep. And this is where it's like, but you know what, even though I'm a guy that don't need that much people's help, but with you, you're something special, and I'll gladly will accept your extra hams if there's gonna be odds in the evens, and it is where Shibata then uses translator to say bet. I was really? Did he really just say that? That's very hilarious of Shibata saying that. Yeah. But anyway, yeah. That's pretty hilariously, hilariously chuckling. But yeah, this is where they fist bump. This is where it's like, okay, see you, this is where they're yes, see you one another later. And this is where they went to separate ways. This is where we got Shane Taylor was already in his gear, about to take on Hook. This is where Shane Taylor was had the more of the advantage, started hitting chops and punches, tossing them around the ring and the corners and stuff. It was like, what are you gonna do about Hook? And this way, hit the big punch right into the gut of the current reigning, defending FTW champion. But this is where Hook started hitting lefts and rights in this gut. And this is where he started going. Try to go for a Fisherplex, but this is where we got Shane Taylor then pushed him right to the left side of the corner ropes. This is where he hit the punch right to the midsection. This is where we got Shane Taylor then and went right back and forth with the top and bottom. This is where we got This is where he hits a headbutt right into the hook. This is where we got Shane Taylor's like, what are you gonna do? Like, what are you gonna do about it? Come on. Like I'm more of a killer that's badder than you. And this way hits a big chop that nearly made Hook's heart stop. Like after taking a hit, like so bad, right onto his chest. This is where he grabs onto the Hook. This is where he picks him up, put him on the shoulders, or starts right over his head. This is where the suplex face, what's that face slip, right? And made his gut right into, put his gut right onto the ropes. This is where he started chanting like, whoa, 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 start barking at the fans in a mockery way. And this is where he started continuing to do his punishment, even in the ringside. This is where then he started. But this is where he started posing, and he's like, ha, ha, and he started giving that ugly, silly look until he put the Hook right into the upper right side, started hitting some punches right into the gut, like left, right, left. He's like, nope, you're not going anywhere. Like, and he then hit a right knuckle punch right into the jaw in the left side. This is where the referee's like, all right, that's enough. Give him some space. Like, we're not sure if he can continue because you hit him so hard. Like, he could be in the verge of forfeiting this match, even though Hook never does that, even if he's in the most unfortunate positions in his match. But this is where we got St. Taylor's like, yeah, we can't waste no more time. Like, and this is where Hook's like, okay, like if you think so, like if you can't, like if your time is valuable to you, like why don't you just get it over with? And this is where he's like, you know what, that don't sound like a bad idea. This is where he started hitting some punches and some strikes right onto the gut. And this is where he started hitting some rights and then some right forearms right into the face and then some lefts. Getting some lefts right into the gut, and then the right forearms right into the face of Hook repeatedly. He was like, that FTW championship is mine, even though that title barely exists. But that's still going to make me known as the champion here in All Elite Wrestling. Even though your old papa is the inventor. And this is where he's like, and you're nothing. And he's like, and you're nothing but a fetus. This is where he started shouting on him. And this is where the commentator's like, oh, take it easy. Like, you had to go that far. This is where he throws him right into the bottom corner turnbuckle. This is where he's trying to go for a big splash, but Hook move out of the way. This is where then Hook then grab onto him. This is where he tried to go for a German suplex. But this is where we got Shane Taylor start elbowing the arms of Hook. This is where he hits a right hand easily right into his face, but this is where Hook answers back his right hands repeatedly right into his face. This is where he started go, like, boom, boom, like, what you got? Like, come on, like, I thought you were all this and that. Like, why you're not answering back? Like, why you're backing down? This is where he started going for a close, running right to the left side and then going to right. This is where he started hitting close arms repeatedly. This is where he goes again and try to do it again. But this is where, like, every time he does it, though, like, slowly but surely, it seemed like one leads to the next, like with him being close of slamming him down to the ground with these clotheslines. This is where he goes for the left. He try to go for clothesline. This is where we got Shane Taylor to try to clothesline, but he ducks out of the way. This is where we got Hook and hit a big German suplex right onto Shane Taylor. Something that somebody has never done in this size to Shane Taylor, but this is where Hook showed that it's not all about the size. It's all about the dedication, determination, and motivation that keeps them going. This is where then he hits an exploder suplex right onto the Shane Taylor. This is where he fell throwing right to the left side. This is where he tried to go for a pin. Rubber count to one, rubber count to two. But this is where Shane Taylor got the shoulder and leg up, right leg up at 2.999999999999999 double triple point nines minus 0.1. This is where then Shane Taylor went right to the bottom left side. This is where he learned learned from Big E and Samoa Joe 101, like with while being in the corner which was most specifically the bottom left side. This is where the Hook then try to run in charge and attack him, but this is where he gets intercepted and get a counter and Uranagi right onto the corner. Like, like something that Samoa Joe and Big E does best. This is where the Shane Taylor that we're right up on the middle rope hit a big splash right onto a hook. This is where Matt Menard was like, "Oh my god!" And this is where everybody thought that it was going to be it. And I was like, no, like I don't think, like even though it looks pretty and convincing that we could possibly see a new FTW champion, but maybe it's a bit too soon. Like Hook looks like a guy that's going to continue getting nothing but wins, and like and the only way he's going to lose that title if he's seen as a main event player again, like when he faces somebody that's currently the AEW World Champion, but. Well, something tells me he's still too green to get another shot at the AEW World Championship. Like, but it was a perfectly good experiment from the first time, back a couple months ago when he faced Samoa Joe for that title. But anyway, this is where even Shane Taylor couldn't even believe that Hook kicked out of that big splash, even though he was in the middle ropes. But still, that should have at least put him down. But the thing is, he's not like an enhancement talent. Like he's a professional veteran, like in this business. Even though he's at the age of 25, but age is just a number when it comes to having experience and having that motivation of being a very successful person. But anyway, this is where Shane Taylor didn't try to go for a clothesline. Hook ducks out of the way. This is where he start hitting. This is where he started going for the red room, like when after the second clothesline. This is where he jumped right onto Shane Taylor's back. This is where Tony Schiavone's like, oh my God, he got it on. Like he got it on. How is he doing? This is where he starts squeezing. This is where he got his arm squeezing around the neck of Taylor. This is where he grabbed onto his arm. This is where he started squeezing him in. This is where he started doing the red room. This is where we got. But this is where Shane Taylor did rams him right to the upper left side, like corner of the turnbuckle, hit backward, but that did not work. But when he tried to go for a second time, that it seemed like it might have worked, but it did not work at all. This is where Hook was still hanging on though, but the only way he's gonna get him off if he slams him right back onto the canvas, which he did so. Like he slammed him right when he got into the middle of the ring. This is where Shane Taylor then. But this is where he tried to get back up. This is where he tried to recollect himself and try to finish off Hook. But this is where Hook then put himself right on the Shane Taylor into the red room. This is where he got him on. This is where he had nowhere else to go. This is where he's like, get off, come on, get off. This is where Tony Schiavone's like, you might as well tap. And this is where the referee. And then this is where the referee started checking his pulse, and it seemed like his arm was not going to get back up anytime soon. He's like, all right, what's the deal? Like, he's already passed out. Like you need to stop the match by a knockout, by submission, which was the end of the match, and your winner and still the still the FTW champion at this opener match at AEW Battle of the Belts. And I'm giving it the second best match of the night, in my opinion, all the way. Which we're gonna see who's exactly gonna take home the first match, which we're gonna up next. But yeah, your winner of this match and still the FTW champion, and he's gonna be on his way of being gonna go to AEW Dynamite to be in talking business with Taz. Yeah.
Can you if I leave this room, can you keep an eye on Julian?
Yeah, sure.
Baby.
Yeah, sure. I can keep an eye on Birdie Bird. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Okay. No problem.
Keep an eye on him.
Okay, I will. I'm glad we keep an eye on you.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime. You know you can count on me.
When I
Yeah.
walk by and open the door, that's when you know we're in. Okay.
Definitely. Yeah. Of course. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Absolutely. But anyways, yeah, Hook is on his way to be going to continue remaining FTW champ, even when he's handling business with his Papa Taz and his new stablemate Chris Jericho. And they're going to be discussing this in Taz brokers meeting, to make Taz understand where Jericho's coming from and his mentorship with Hook of being a even more better version of himself. But let me know in the comments down below if what your like if you think if Jericho's going to be successful of his mentorship with, I mean, of convincing Mister Hook or just Hook, like in his mentorship and continue to be aligned with him, and there's going to be nothing but success. Which do you agree? There's going to be plenty of success even with Jericho Hook, or do you think that Hook needs Jericho's advice, or do you think he can do things on his own? That's what makes him a great wrestler in general. Like, let me know in the comments down below. Which that's the one thing that Hook does not want, does not like, is being instructed to do something that he cannot follow very well, and he only works in his own pace. Like, and that should be everybody, like in the wrestling business. Quite honestly, and genuinely. But yeah, this is where we got Lexi Nair, like in backstage in an interview with Rocky Romero, and this is where she's like this is a huge night for you, Rocky. Like in an eliminatory match for the AEW International Championship. Like with all that said, like what's gonna be on, what's going on? Like, but all that being said, like and also I want to ask, like what's going on with Best Friends lately? Like it's ever since that Trent Beretta turned on Orange Cassidy, and also. I apologize. I said this the international championship is going to be on the line when it's actually a eliminator match. But I was thinking to myself, like, why do you add this as a battle of the belts match? Like, why? Like, what's the point of making this a match on Battle of the Belts? Like, if it's not going to actually be the championship is going to be on the line. That's the whole point of being on the show, like after Dynamite or Rampage or Collision. Like it's gonna be something extra. Like see, championships gonna be on the line, not no contenders match, not no non-title matches, championship matches. Like you might as well have Adam Copeland did his Cope Open Challenge on the spot, like at this point. But it is what it is. I'm gonna argue with AEW on this one, but it's just that it was very odd to put it on a Battle of the Belt show when you could have done this on AEW Collision show. And then if he wins, then you get a shot at Roderick Strong's championship at Battle. Even though that they're doing double duties on one night, but it'll be all worth it at the end. That's where it's like, let's go on the list. Like it was me, Chucky, Trent, and Orange Cassidy. Like we were my best friend. Like we've been this tag team forever, but I don't know what's going on to be honest. Like I just gotta think about that. It's very complicated right now. But one thing I focus on though is that the becoming a number one contender for Roderick Strong's international champion and defeating the champ like before we even have our championship match. And then I'm gonna fulfill my champ and I'm gonna fulfill my destiny of becoming the international champion, just like my best friend Orange Cassidy. And he's like, "Thank you for your time, Lexi." And then before he can, and this is where before he can leave, this is where Colorado was like, it came in, and he was like, "No, like I came in peace, like Rocky, I'm not trying to." I'm not trying to ambush you. Like I just want to wish you good luck tonight, and I hope you do get the better of my best friend, and you can earn yourself an opportunity for the international championship. This was like, I appreciate that, man. This is where they gave you handshakes and a fist bump dap, and then this is where they went their separate ways, and this is where what was up next, which was for the AEW International Championship.
Let it come in, and then let it go out. But she likes to let it be known.
This is where we this is where we do have the match. This is where it start off with Roderick Strong and what's his name, Rocky Romero, then go grappling right onto each other. This is where we got Roderick Strong then trying to put him in a headlock, but since Rocky Romero trying to step back out, this is where we got this is where Roderick Strong then like, if I can't do a headlock, then I'll do a wrist lock on you. This is where he start going after that left arm of Rocky Romero, start squeezing, start bending it back and try to bring him down to his knees. But this is where Rocky Romero then rolled forward and then turned around, trying to do a wrist lock of his own, which he successfully did. This is where he started twisting the arm of the current international champion. It looked like he could. This is where then Roderick Strong then go back and did a wrist lock on him and try to see who's gonna win this wrist lock war. This is where we got Roderick Strong to go for a headlock slam right onto Romero. This is where he got it locked in right onto the head of the best friend member. This is where he this is where he was kneeled down trying to go for a headlock. But this is where Rocky Romero was up, which I was thinking to myself, like, what was the why are you kneeling when you could have stayed up? But none of that mattered because once Rocky Romero tried to go counter it into a abdominal stretch, this is where Roderick Strong counter it into a hip toss right onto the ground. This is where he tried to go for a pin, but this is where Romero then kicks out of his pin right before the referee even count to one. This is where Roderick Strong then got him into some kind of a guillotine headlock like maneuver. And this is where Rocky Romero tried to roll out of it. This is where we got him trying to go for a wrist lock out of the guillotine until Roderick Strong did hit a chop right onto him. This is where he tried to Irish whip him right to the left, to the right. This is where he tried to close on him. But this is where we got Rocky Romero doing a baseball slide right under Roderick Strong's legs, like what Xavier Woods would do. This is where he ran right to the left corner rope. This is where he hit the sliding, running Hurricane Rana right onto Strong. This is where the Roderick Strong went right back to his corner. This is where he started going for a wrist lock right onto the left arm. This is where he tried to go up in the top rope. And I don't know what's up with these athletic Latino wrestlers of hitting old school moves like this, like in the luchadors as well. It's like they're like athletic Latino version of the Undertaker hitting these moves. I mean, don't get me wrong. We got Ricky Starks hitting this move too, doing the absolute walk, like while walking through the ropes. I was like, what is up? Ever since the Undertaker's been doing this move, like everybody's been doing this. Like the Undertaker must have been some kind of a private trainer of theirs, or why else they're doing this move. I mean, they must have been inspired of doing this move, obviously, and the Undertaker must have clearly been their favorite wrestler as a kid, like from the past 30 years. So yeah, that's like a logical reason why they're doing the old school move. But instead of doing like a single axe handle, they did a senton like maneuver, I guess you could say. But this is where Rocky Romero just starts doing the shimmy like if he was Eddie Guerrero, right? Much rather than the dead man. But this is where we got him doing some knife edge chops right onto Roderick Strong. He's like, my chest. Like, this is where Roderick Strong's like, here, help take your chops back. This is where he started going for a chop war, which was probably kind of a smart idea to use as much as chops they can before Gunther makes his return back in wrestling. Even though it's not in AEW, but in WWE, but he's going to be watching, like, if he does come back to WWE, and he's going to add who's going to be on his bad and horrible, unforgiving envy list. And yeah, this is where he started hitting chops onto him. This is where they start going back and forth, playing wrestling tennis of chops. This is where Roderick Strong kind of ended the chops when he got to the bottom left side, step right back in the middle of the ring, stomp on his foot. This is where he started hitting forearms right to his face. This is where he hit a sidewalk slam. Backbreaker, actually, right onto Romero. This is where he tried to go for a pin. But this is where he only got a 2 even count with Romero got the legs and the right shoulder up. This is where then Matt Taven and Mike Bennett's like, come on, Roddy, playing this cheerleaders, saying like, you could do this. Like, there's no way in hell that he's going to win this match, even for being a contenders match. And he's never, ever going to get a shot at the AEW International Championship. And this is where Rocky Romero's like, oh, yes, I am. This is where you start proving them wrong for a second by stomping onto their head and their face, right into the corner in the bottom left. This is where Rocky Romero then hit a snapmare right onto Roderick Strong, hit a middle drop kick right into the face of the former NXT North American and current AEW International Champion. This is where he then picks them up. This is where he tried to go for a European uppercut, which he did so. But Rock Strong landed on the ropes, hit a right foot right foot right into Rocky Romero's face. This is where he tried to toss him on the outside, but he hangs on to the ropes right between the top and middle ropes. This is where Roderick Strong tried to charge at him and spear him right off of there and landed right on the outside. But luckily, Romero moved out of the way before he can even connect. This is where then Rocky Romero went walking right onto the apron. This is where he runs and charges, hit a slide swipe kick right onto the chest of Strong. This is where we got Rocky Romero then hit a double foot stomp right on the Strong that landed right onto the lower part of his rib. He was like, "Ow, oh my God, my rib!" And this is where Rocky Romero started doing the shimmy dance right onto right in front of the camera, hilariously. This is where they start continuing their fight right onto the top corner of the ringside area, right onto the the barricade. But this is where we got right. This is where Rocky Romero. But this is where Rocky Romero saw him still on the outside when he went back in. This is where he tried to go for a suicide dive on him. This is where Mike Bennett nearly it was Matt Taven, or wasn't Mike Bennett, then try to nearly grab onto his legs so he wouldn't do the suicide dive right on the Strong. But this is where he saw Matt Taven. This is where he dived him instead. This is where then he went for a suicide dive right on the Strong as well. It seemed like he is going to win, and he will get an opportunity for the AEW International Championship. But it seemed like that won't be anytime soon. Like at this time, maybe it'll be somebody else at Dynasty, if not Double or Nothing, or whenever Roderick Strong will have his next title defense for the AEW International Championship. But this is where we saw a baseball slide into if he's doing a surfboard kind of routine flip right and hit a back DDT right onto Roderick Strong, but that only got him a 2.99999 count. But this is where Rocky Romero started hitting forearms right into the face of Roddy. This is where he went right into the bottom right side. This is where he started going like a bull hammer. Wind up, and this is where he hits a clothesline right on the Strong. This is where he did hit again right to the bottom right side. This is where he tried to go for goal. But this is where Rock Strong hit the clothesline. This is where he started hitting knife edge chops as well, repeatedly right onto the chest of Rocky Romero. This is where then he eyes him from the upper left side to the bottom right. This is where then he bounced right off of it, went right in the middle, and get hit with a Claymore kick. And before y'all start assuming that he stole that from Drew McIntyre, he's already been doing that move doing this move for a very long time. He just started doing this move just like the Scottish Warrior. So I wouldn't be throwing any throwing any accusations, I should say. More likely the word to use. But yeah, I would not be throwing any accusations on him for that. He's been using it just as much as Drew has. But yeah, for those who are unaware about Roderick Strong hitting this move, that's kind of like the Claymore kick. But he's been a long time, ever since his original Ring of Honor days. But anyway, he goes for the pin, onto Romero, but he only got a 2.1 count with him getting the shoulders and legs up. This is where we got Roderick Strong that picks up Romero. This is where he does a fireman's carry knee to the midsection. But this is where Rocky Romero started elbowing the head of Strong. This is where he tried to go for the gut buster. But this is where Rocky Romero then flips out of the fireman's carry and hit a Hurricane Rana right on the Strong, flipping him right down. I was like, how the hell did he did that? No flubbing way. And this is where Roderick Strong tried to go for a chop right onto Roderick Strong, but this is where he goes for a flying head scissors DDT. What else happened? But anyway, this is where he gets after he hit the flying head on to Ronald him right off of the position, and this is where we got Rocky Romero hit a sliced bread right off the top rope, landed right into the middle of canvas. This is where we got Rocky Romero to go for a pin. Referee count to 1, referee count to 2, but this is where Roddy kicks out at 2.5. With the Undisputed Kingdom was having a conniption, because every time there's always closer and closer when Rocky Romero could possibly become a new number 1 contender for the international championship. This is where Rocky Romero making sure that there's not going to be some outside shenanigans from the rest of the Undisputed Kingdom between with Mike Bennett, Matt Taven, and Wardlow. He was like, I got my eyes on you, which I was thinking, I was like, yeah, you better keep your eyes on him. But at the same time, I wouldn't set my eyes only on them. Like when the whole point is to step out of the ring and go up on top for against Roderick Strong, which luckily Rocky Romero knew this, but it's where Roderick Strong still got back up, hit the right forearm, which I'll say half the reason is because of what's their names, because of the Undisputed Kingdom throwing them off and with him worrying about them and keeping their eyes on them. This is where Rocky Romero went right on the top rope. This is where this is where Matt Taven nearly got up on the apron to try to attempt to knock off Rocky Romero.